peeps? Julian Williams here at the distance. Got a video for you guys. This is a post-fight to Marco Antonio Rubio versus Julio Cesar Chavez. Bout took place just now, ended in a unanimous decision in favor of Julio Cesar Chavez. Pretty much I thought that he fought a smart fight. The first couple rounds I gave to Rubio, I actually had 116 to 112 because Rubio did have his moments in some rounds. I did give him the first 2 rounds, but based on effective aggression, coming forward behind the jab, and just simply in the first 2 rounds, he was able to be effective, behind the jab and being aggressive, and I think in the second round, it was an either-or round, it was a swing round, but I did give it to Rubio, who threw more punches. But overall, I thought that Chavez fought a very smart fight. I'll give him credit for fighting a smart fight against Rubio, an opponent who possibly had a chance of beating him. Had a lot of experience, faced a lot of good fighters at that weight throughout the years: Grady Brewer, Kelly Pavlik, David Lemieux, and the list goes on. But he's fought a lot of good fighters at that weight and had a lot of experience. And the thing with Marco Antonio Rubio was he was fighting Chavez's fight. He was standing in front of him, he was letting Chavez hit him, and Chavez was able to take the right hand away. The reason he was able to take his right hand away is because Rubio was able to, with Rubio has to have a certain amount of range and a certain amount of space to throw that right hand and get it, have it able to land. So on the inside, if Chavez was close to him, that right hand would not have as much of an effect as it would on the outside. Also, what the commentators were missing out on was the counter hook that Rubio likes to throw. And Rubio threw the hook inside very well, and the hook inside, the left hook inside, was landing clean on Chavez's chin, but it wasn't having that much of an effect. And it was another punch to where he needed a specific amount of range to land the right way to have a specific amount of an effect on Chavez. But Chavez did a good job of just smothering him and fighting in close quarters and just taking room away from Rubio. Rubio wasn't able to capitalize on much of anything. Rubio, pretty much he fought Chavez kind of fight. He stood in front of him. Chavez was able to outwork him, and Rubio was throwing like 60, 70 punches around on average. But the punches that Chavez was throwing was having more an effect than the punches that were landing on Chavez. So just overall, Chavez just fought the right kind of fight against an opponent that was going to give him points, an opponent that was just going to straight up stand in front of him. If you stand in front of a Chavez is going to outwork you. He's going to go to the body. And we saw the moments in the fight to where Rubio had gotten on the ropes and Chavez was going to the body. And other than that, if he wasn't standing on the ropes, he's standing at the center of the ring, leaning on Chavez. And you don't want to lean on a fighter that's like 180 pounds. And the fighter that's 180 pounds, of course, is going to have more an effect than a fighter at 170 pounds. Those punches are going to have more of an effect to the judges than the fighter at 170 pounds. And the judge is going to score that compared to the other fighter. So just overall, Chavez fought the perfect fight. Rubio stood in front of him, stood toe-to-toe with him. Chavez took his range away. He fought in close proximity and just won the fight based on his work rate. He was able to outpunch him. His output was quite high going later into the fight. And what more can you ask for? So as far as Chavez goes, it seems as if at 25, 26 years old, Chavez is having trouble making the 160-pound weight limit. And of course, he's not going to go up to 168 because there's so much competition at 168 that he's going to be facing. The lineal champion at 168 is Andre Ward, and he's going to be fighting fighters like Carl Froch and Lucian Butte, and even Glenn Johnson, and just all kinds of other fighters at that weight who's not going to engage with him. Even Dia Davis, he won't engage with Chavez Jr. And I think Chavez Jr. would be a Dia Davis, but he would have a little bit of trouble with him because of the movement and the fact that he's a fighter that doesn't like to take punishment. So of course 168 is out of the picture for Chavez. Of course, being that he holds the title at 168, everybody wants to see him fight Sergio Martinez next. And that's the perfect fight for Chavez, is Sergio Martinez. He came in, he looked good against Marco Antonio Rubio, who's having like a 9 or 10 fight win streak. I think more than likely he may face like a David Lemieux or Alcine next. You know, I don't think he's going to unify in his next fight. I see him being in the ring probably in the May or June time frame. He's not going to fight Canelo, but I see him fight maybe a Alcine or Lemieux, somebody that may give him, you know, a decent fight. I would love to see him fight Lemieux, but I think the guy that fights gonna be Alcine, because Alcine had just defeated Lemieux. But just overall, personally, I would love to see Chavez unify that middleweight championship against whoever, maybe against an Andy Lee, who knows. But anyway, peeps, I'm out of here. You guys have a good night. The distance, get at me. Peace.
Niggas talking about they one of us. I'm like, nah, he just runner-up. Large T's, gotta get these hoes a summer cut. APCs with a pocket full of hundreds. Name getting bigger. If it's somebody else, name me a nigga. Built my whole life from the bottom, you can spot him. The whole city know.